Hi, Peter here. I thought it'd be just nice to talk a little bit about Symbiotic Future and what I see as the Symbiotic Future Network, but also how I see you being able to not only contribute, but benefit to what it is that we're laying the foundations of. So it's been some time of having really a lot of personal conversations. And the more I have these personal conversations with various people, amazing people around the world, the more I realized how unique the individuality of our work is. And then I become very curious about, well, if we're all individually on our paths and we're doing fantastic, incredibly emerging things that are deeply working with people's consciousness in terms of waking up and becoming more aware of our habitual minds or our habitual emotional patterns, or our tendencies, if you like, or our instinctual nature, and being able to come together and say, well, I kind of need your help to self-regulate. And if I can have this co-regulation process, then maybe what will emerge is a symbiotic future where we actually have this beautiful interdependency, where I want my independence and you want your independence, but somehow we are united in this interdependency. And over time, I feel that we will get to know what a symbiotic future actually means, not just for us, but what it means for the world, what it means to be able to come into a space and say, hey, this is where I'm from, this is what I do. And for you and your own natural intelligence, because we inherently and innately have our own genius, which was perhaps skimmed over throughout our whole schooling environment. Perhaps it was glanced over with our parents when we were growing up. Perhaps with partners we weren't really seen. Perhaps with our schools or our industries or our organizations. We had a feeling that we didn't actually fit into that space because we weren't actually seen. And we know this because we feel this. And when you feel this, then you know this. So why not create something different? In this day and age of 2023, after the pandemic, looking at the global goals to be reached in another 7 years, we're at this halfway point, this pivotal halfway point for humanity and nature, for people and planet to come together in a symbiotic way and demonstrate to the world, not just to ourselves from an egotistical point of view, to dedicate to ourselves and the people in which we serve to come together as conscious educators, as conscious leaders within education and industry, and actually say, not from a combative point of view, not from a judgmental point of view, not from a point of view where we're sitting in helplessness and victimization, but in a way where we come together to feel what it is to be creators, to be education creators, to be conscious educators, to be conscious leaders, to have conscious organizations with the people within our organizations, within these beautiful containers of truth that we hold as leaders and as educators, for people to actually feel a whole different paradigm of education. And it's through you, and it's through me. It will be for you, it will be for me. And if I can be so selfless to say that symbiotic future will become something far bigger than any of us can imagine, then that's my truth. And my truth is my only authority. And I invite you into your truth. And I would like to listen to your truth. I would like to feel your truth. Because then maybe, just maybe, I understand part of human nature that I've never met before. And that helps me with my toolkit of sensitivity to be able to approach my work, to approach the challenges, to seek solutions in everything and everyone for a greater possibility for humanity and nature, for a symbiosis, a mutual symbiosis, not a parasitic symbiosis, a mutual symbiosis to come together, to unite, to celebrate one another, to communicate, to commune in unity, to feel what it is that we each are doing individually as part of a greater tapestry of what is happening in the world. So much we hear is designed to bring our consciousness into this state of numbness. It's time to wake up. It's time to speak. It's time to share. It's time to realize that we can actualize a different true picture of this fantastically beautiful, insanely amazing world that you and I create with no other voice of authority. That we complement the systems that already exist. That we move into those spaces in a harmonious way, and we bring the conflict into this equilibrium of truth, of feeling a different sense of what love is, feeling a different sense of what companionship is, feeling a different sense of what collegialism is, feeling a different sense of what decisions actually mean beyond right now, far, far into the future. So symbiotic future will become what you bring to a symbiotic future. It will become what you bring to the meetings and gatherings. It will become what you celebrate on the online community and how free you feel, because the only restrictions in this space come from yourself. You have an opportunity to share. You have an opportunity to co-create. And I invite you into that space because I too need that. And I too want that. And I invite you to say those words too, that you too need that and you too want that. And our greatest wish is our selfless inclusivity, which will bring diversity to a symbiotic future network that you are inherently a key part of, making sure that heart continues to grow and expand out into the world, out into education, out into public schools, out into universities, out into private schools, out into industry, out into governments, out into nations. It's the only way change will come. So, it's time.